Okay, everybody. So we're gonna do something different. I met this kid by the name of Progress, and he's been having a last year of real fucked upness on the internet, I gotta say, from everything I've heard. So let's start off by explaining who you are. You are a small YouTube content creator like myself. You make well put together content for the most part. I like it so far. But you seem to just piss people off.
Yeah, that is a pretty big part of it, I'd say, is yeah, I piss people off, and I think it's mostly like a lot of people are gonna probably be like, oh, everyone says that. It is mostly a persona. People who do know me, I don't act like the way that I do. It's mostly the videos I put on my channel. I think the orientation of them that has like people off put.
So I know that it was about a year ago that shit started to actually go weird for you. I mean, become more drama filled on the internet, or was it a little bit more than a year ago?
It was over a year ago at this point, yeah. I'd say actually leaning towards a year and a half at this point.
And the reason for this is because of a person that you used to date.
Yeah, that was like when, like, shit really hit the fan in that way.
So, let's start by effectively, like, talking about the elephant in the room. When you were 17, you dated a 14-year-old who was going on 15.
Yes.
Whereas in the United States, that's actually not considered weird or illegal. It's, again, the same thing in Canada. People tend to take offense to stupid shit, especially shit they don't understand, and you started... Now, I know that some accusations were thrown around, but let's get started with the first thing. How did the internet find out?
Okay, so the way that people found out, like, you wouldn't have thought, like, you would have expected that, oh, I, like, publicly tweeted something, or, like, you know, that would have got people's attention, but no, it actually starts off way back to a group chat, which was called Lads on Tour, and in that group chat it was just a bunch of, like, I guess you could say friends, or people who were trying to get to know each other, and so one day somebody, I guess, like, there was, like, a joke, like, people were like calling each other like virgins and stuff, like almost people still do that, but like, so people were doing that as a joke, and then like I had made a joke saying that I wasn't one, and I forget what it was roughly me saying like, nah man, like I'm not a virgin at all, like I'm, and then saying like it was just like a simple joke, really, like it was just kind of me saying like, oh yeah, no, I'm not one. Like at the time, yeah, like you had said, like people didn't actually know that I was in, like they didn't know anybody who I was in a relationship with, and I had just kind of like, so people were just like, okay, he's in a relationship, and that wasn't actually even the point at which anybody said anything. It was afterwards that people realized that at the time I was actually like, yeah, trying to sorry, I'm trying to remember all this.
Oh no, it's perfectly fine, especially when it comes to like old information. It can get a little bit daunting trying to remember every little detail about it.
Yeah. Okay, so I think I got it. Like, I'm trying to remember everything that happened, because I want this to be as, like, this is what happened as possible. But yeah, so I had made the joke about not being a virgin and stuff, and then afterwards it came back to, like, I guess bite me in the ass when, after I was already done, I'm pretty sure there's the only thing that I'm not 100% sure on is this was either right before I broke up with her or right after, but then somebody in the Lads on Tour group actually ended up, because I publicly had, like, you know, made people aware, like, of the person I was dating at the time, of their Twitter account. And so people knew, like, who she was. They were casually talking to her and stuff, like, here and there. But then I guess one day somebody had asked her out of nowhere, like, oh, how old are you? And then somebody, like, then she ended up obviously just responding because she didn't really think it was anything bad. So she ended up just saying, like, oh, yeah, no, like, I'm 14, turning 15 soon. And then it was at that point where people didn't know that I was actually under 18. It was assumed that I was 18 or over, like right away. Like right away, people had like asked me that, and it would actually had started off as a meme where I instantly resolved it because, like, at the time, people had came to me, like, right away. Like, the guy who said it was, like, who had asked her was like, yo, like, I got told this happened and blah, blah, blah. But it became worse when when the Lads on Tour group chat fell apart. I had a falling out with a guy who some people might know or remember, and his name was Blast Dat Puss, or it was like Blasberry is what he had it originally. And I had a falling out with him when Lads on Tour fell apart. And so that guy, though, actually did keep contact with my ex. And he decided to continue to try and spread to people that he knew that I was over 18. He kept telling people, saying, no, he's over 18, she's 14. Like, and so they were trying to he was trying to slowly make things worse than they were. And it started off just small, where it was just like memes, like just simple jokes. People didn't take anything seriously. And then over time, as I started to, as you've said, gain more and more people who don't like you. I think that happens with everyone, really. If you make controversial content of any kind, the more you grow, the more people who are going to be against you. So, yeah, but it ended up getting, hold of other people. Then memes went to people taking it seriously, and I, like, for the first time, was actually starting to have people asking me, saying, wait, are you a pedophile? And then that was the first time when I was having, like, it was freaking me the hell out. Because, I was 17 still at the time, and I'm getting people online calling me a pedophile, and I'm scared because I'm freaking out. I'm like, oh my god, like, that shit was scary to me at the time. I had just turned 17, mind you. Like, maybe, like, I think it was, like, 2 months. Like, 2 months prior, I had just turned 17.
When you two started dating, you were actually 16.
No. When we started dating, I was 17, but I was we only dated for a month. That's the thing. We dated for the span of a month. That was it. Okay,
so you clearly have already learned to, like, just not share out your girlfriend's public Twitter from now on, right?
Well, like, that's the thing, is that I don't, like, my current girlfriend right now, like, she's 17 years old, and so no one really cares about, like, that at all. But yeah, no, that relationship was literally just for a single month, like, to the date. And I remember that because of, like, the relationship wasn't stable. There was a lot of issues, and I ended up breaking up with her because there was a lot of stuff going on where, some issues with her not being fully not stable, as in, like, I would say she wasn't, like, mentally stable, but there's a whole thing behind that which I don't really want to get into. That's a little too personal.
Well, to be fair, what it comes down to is you two are both children. You dated for a month.
Yeah.
Everyone has been exploding and blowing this shit out of proportion ever since then.
Yeah.
It's not relevant why you two broke up, because it happened. You guys are both kids.
Oh, yeah, no, and trust me, I did not want that. I realized about a couple weeks in what I was getting myself into. So it just went downhill. Like, it was honestly just a downhill relationship from the start. I think that might have been the worst part about it, is on top of the allegations happening, I wasn't even really happy in the relationship I was in. I was trying to, like, work things out, but, like, being called, like, a pedophile for the relationship you're in when you're barely wanting to even be in the relationship you're in was very, like, it didn't help at all. And I honestly think it probably contributed to the end of it being just horrible after everything.
So clearly that's already been squashed. You are not a pedophile. You are not a nonce. You are not whatever word they're going to come up with next week.
Yeah, no. One thing I was going to, like, just clear up as well is that a lot of people like to try and say, oh, well, he's a hebephile. And that basically, I couldn't be that either, because I wasn't 18. Until you turn 18, you can't be an anything file. It's just a normal relationship at that point. I wasn't doing anything wrong, at least, especially not legally, not in social standards at all. Like, so
you were just doing something wrong by certain people's certain beliefs.
Yeah.
But, it seemed like everything calmed down for you after the whole after all of that. I mean, to be fair, I didn't know who you were until the day before you got banned off of Twitter. So that's hilarious. No, that's not even a joke. I found out who you were. I found out that I wanted to help you with this, and DM'd you, We had a conversation for what, all of maybe 6 DMs back and forth, and then all of a sudden you're banned off of Twitter.
Yeah, that wasn't too fun.
So it's weird. Why did you get suspended?
Well, that's the thing, is that I don't 100% know why. Like, I know what caused it, like, who were the people, like, at least one person did come forward and say that, and very, like, in a, I'd say, I don't even know what the word would be, basically in a way where they're kind of like, haha, like, guess what, like, asshole, I did this, kind of thing. So, it was a thing it seemed out of hate. But the things that I have two things that I think, well, two things that the person claimed against me, which I can get into a little bit. And one of the things, I won't mention what the person's name is that is also involved in the situation, because they don't want to even be involved in the situation. And they even told me that themselves, that they have nothing against me. Would I be able to just give them false names?
Yeah, that's fine. False names are perfectly fine.
So, the first one is the first reason that the person said that they reported me, was, well, at first they claimed that there was a person who, this is the confusing part for me, because there was a situation where I had a friend, and that friend ended up, I'm not using a name for them because they don't really have anything to do with it. That friend basically made a joke in bad taste, yes, about, there was, I forget what it was supposed to boil down to, but they basically had made a joke. Then this, this girl ended up saying no, like, they got mad because the joke was directed at them. And I didn't defend my friend over the joke he made because it was in bad taste. I ended up personally saying myself that I wouldn't make the joke myself personally. I literally, and this is going to sound dumb as shit, but I was just there because I was correcting them on their use of the word morals, because they were using morals as in saying you could have wrong morals, but morals are subjective, meaning that you can have different morals from the person next to you. You can't be morally wrong or morally, like, in a situation, basically. So I was there to correct them because they were saying my friend was, like, morally messed up and blah, blah, blah. And I was basically trying to get people to use the word ethically. It was a really bad way of doing it, but yeah, that's what I was doing. I also, though, in a way, I did defend my friend at the beginning because I thought that the joke was something slightly different than it ended up actually being, and I did apologize as well, saying that, oh, I didn't know that's what it was, and blah, blah, blah. But yeah, so I didn't actually directly have anything to do with that. He claims that I was the one going about the joke. I wasn't at all. If I had my account, I'd be able to show you where I was clearly not defending my friend, more saying that they were using the wrong term. But the second term, which I will use names for, is, we're going to say that the guy's name, we'll call him Alan. And then the female in the situation, who is actually the girlfriend of the guy who got me suspended. So the girlfriend of Alan will say that person's name's Mary. Okay. So in this situation, Alan claims that I forced Mary to make me free art, or to make free art in general, because Mary is a Twitter artist. And that was entirely wrong. There was all of this as well, because I do not want to make this person, because people know who I'm talking about when I refer to these people. I am not trying to make Mary look bad in any way. This person has come to me after the new account got there, said they want nothing to do with what Alan did, because they find it completely wrong and didn't want that to happen at all. And the situation as to why he claims that that he was doing this because of what I did to Mary. Mary said that we already had this situation resolved and he didn't need to bring it back up, that she even apologized for her actions during the incident that he tried to refer to. And so basically what had happened with the incident was I had a friend who had, so basically my friend had, so I had a friend who basically had won one of Mary's art raffles. And to those who are unfamiliar with what an art raffle is, basically what a Twitter artist is like, oh, I'm getting close to a certain amount of followers. To reach that goal, they usually say, okay, follow me and then retweet this post and you'll be able to be entered into my raffle, and then one person will get picked or a couple people will get picked. And so in this case, my friend ended up entering and he won Mary's raffle. And then what ended up happening, though, was she sent him, if I'm not wrong, a sketch on paper of what the end result will probably end up looking like about a week after, I believe, after he had won. And then, so a week, like another week passes, a month passes, then it went to 3 months pass, and still he had nothing. And he didn't go to her, he didn't want to pressure her or anything, because that's the thing, is that my friend he was only 15, and he does have a lot of issues at home and other things, so he doesn't like conflict, basically. So as a joke, Mary ended up starting another art raffle before she even finished my friend's art. And so he made a joke to his own friend, not in a group chat or anything, just he made a joke in DMs to his friend saying, like, basically just joking, poking fun at the fact that she was starting an art raffle when she hadn't finished his art yet. Not, like, you know, being rude about it. He just made a simple joke. And his friend ended up screenshotting those messages, sending it over to Mary. Mary was very upset and said, oh no, like, screw you, I'm like this, like, you thought you could make this joke, like, basically screw you, I'm not even gonna make you your art anymore because you did that. And he was freaking out. He doesn't like conflict. He was trying to not, like, you know, ruin a friendship. It ended up with her, with Mary blocking my friend, and he panicked and he came to me. And I don't know why it was that he came to me. I think it's because I am, like, I've told people before, if they do have, like, any issues or something, if they want to talk about something, he's, like, I've been there a few times for him, and he's been there even for me to talk. So he came to me. I looked at all the stuff and found out that in the past, Mary has actually done this before, where somebody had won an art raffle, started a new one, and the other person didn't get their art until they went public about it. And so basically, I went to Alan because Mary had me blocked because she didn't like me. Big surprise. And so basically what happened was Alan ended up, I went to Alan and said, listen, Mary is trying to make my friend feel bad for making a joke, and she's freaking out at him. He doesn't like conflict, like, and she's the one who's like in the wrong here. And then he's like, oh, it's not my problem, like, go talk to her. And I was like, I can't, like, she has me blocked. And so then basically Alan and I went back and forth, and it got to the point where I got mad, and I said, okay, if you don't talk to Mary, if you do not get Mary to make my friend art, I will go public about the situation and show people what she's done and what she's doing, like, to my friend, and what she's done to others in the past. My reasoning for saying that as well is that a lot of people make the argument to me that, oh, but follows and stuff and an art raffle, there's no currency behind it. There's no, like, blood deal or anything like that where it's like, oh, I have to make you the art. But the thing is that artists do commissions, and they get paid to do commissions. The more people who follow them, the higher chance there is to get commissions. By doing an art raffle, it's basically like giving yourself more opportunity for money. So I take it as, when you do that, you have to go through with it. I don't care if you don't like the person, just get it over with, it's art. And that was the thing, is that, like, Mary did very good art. And so basically what it ended up escalating to the point where my friend was like, she's not, like, not my friend, sorry, Alan. Alan's not my friend. He's literally got me suspended. But, so basically this went on, and then what it broke down to was Alan ended up saying, no, she's done. She said she's not doing the art. And I was like, okay, then I give her 2 weeks before I make a video on her. Like I said, that I was done with just going public about it. It got to the point where I was upset enough, because Mary went back to my friend during this conversation because Alan told Mary that I basically, because I showed screenshots from my friend of what he gave me as information of what she was saying to him, so that I had proof. Not in a way to be able to use it against her, but in a way to be able to show that he wasn't lying to me. But so basically, I ended up going to, like, Alan, and then Alan sent that stuff over to Mary, so Mary went back to my friend and got even more mad at him. And then, so at that point, things just started getting worse. And so I was like, okay, no, screw it. I literally, like, I'm going to make a video with all of the information that has gone down on Mary about how she does this to people and how she's in the past not made people art, like when she was going to, because she was growing in followers very fast. Within about like 3 months, like that 3 months, like she was doing like I think the raffle was originally for like 500 or 600 followers, and she was already at going to 1,000 followers. So she was growing very quickly. So yeah, basically I said I would make the video, I would start working on it, but if within 2 weeks she didn't actually have the art for my friend, then I would put the video out. And then didn't hear really anything. My friend ended up saying, sorry, not my friend, Alan. Alan ended up saying, okay, I'll talk to her. And then heard nothing back, and I said, okay. But then basically within 3 hours after that conversation, Alan came back to me, and I found out that my friend came to me and he had his art. So with what took over 3 months for him to get, she actually got like the art done in 3 hours. So yeah, I was a little bit upset even just at that it took her so little time. And the other point to make as well was that some people said, oh well, art takes time, maybe she just wasn't into it. But she constantly, like every week, would put up new pictures that she drew of Alan, like of her boyfriend's like persona. So she was constantly making these drawings all the time and had clearly enough free time to make my friends thing, because she was doing them for free, like of these things, whereas she should have been doing this art raffle thing. And like I said...
But how long ago did this whole situation happen?
This was honestly, I think this was about half a year ago at this point. Like, if not half a year ago, maybe 5 months ago. And that was the thing I was going to get to, which is just to wrap that whole section up quickly, was that, like I said at the beginning before I explained the situation, they actually gave, like, she gave me, like, she went to me and personally said after my account got suspended that this was not the reason that, like, if Alan went after me for that reason, for something that was resolved, because that's the thing, is my friend and Mary ended up actually making up. They ended up becoming, like, they were fine with each other, and they're basically, like, friends again and stuff like that. So they had no issues whatsoever, and she made that clear to me, like, a few days ago when my account got suspended. And she also made it clear that she wants nothing to do with this because he should not have gone after me. Because the thing is that when you suspend, like, when you report somebody, I never publicly posted anything about her specifically, like, about that situation specifically. So there's no way that any of the, because you have to go after, like, I think it's 5 tweets or something maximum, and then you can type out a description for what else you want to talk about. So there would have been no tweets for him to really go off of, because it was also a deal made all the way back then where I said I'd, like, made this meme. Basically, it was just like a meme picture of Mary. Like, it was just like a joke. I took her regular picture and I, like, basically, like, just did, like, I added, like, a hat to her, like, that said, like, lol or something on it, and, like, stretched out parts of her face and just basically made, like, just a stupid picture out of it. And I said I would be fine, I'll take the picture down if she ended up doing the art for my friend. And so yeah, like I said, everything was fine, everything was resolved, it all worked out, but Alan claims that one of the reasons why he reported me was for that. And like I said, all of that was resolved in the DMs, nothing had to go public at all. And the fact, like I said, I do not want, if you will know who I'm speaking of, do not go and harass, like, Mary at all. Don't even go and harass Alan, for that matter, because they are fine. And she even came to me. She is completely changed. She apologized to me for how she acted in the situation back then, before I even apologized, because I ended up apologizing, saying, you know what, next time maybe, like, I even said, if I wasn't blocked by you, I would have directly went to you. And we resolved everything again after the fact. So once again, this was all Alan who did this. I don't understand why, but it seemed like he decided to kind of manipulate the situation, lie about what it was that I said, because I didn't make fun of the one girl. Like, the joke, like, entail was about a type of, like eating disorder thing that I didn't understand was a part of. I thought that the other girl had a B12 deficiency thing, and that was, like, the whole reason why I had thought everything was different. Like, that was the other situation with my you know, friend making that joke thing. So I had nothing to do with the joke being made. I didn't defend him over his joke being made, and I also didn't just blackmail this this Mary girl into making anyone like art. I just said that it wasn't fair that my friend didn't get his art. It wasn't fair of what was going on. So yeah, basically, I guess I don't even know what tweets Alan went after. I have no clue. I was never made aware of that. I know when you get locked, usually you get told what the tweet was, but I didn't get, when I got suspended, I got nothing. So I have no clue what it was that caused that. But yeah, those are the only things that, from my knowledge, have been brought up as to what I was doing. The other one was people just saying, oh, well, you were harassing the girl who my friend made a joke about. And I said, no, she was tweeting about me for months when she had me blocked. Like, literally, this girl had me blocked, and she was making jokes. And this isn't the Mary girl, by the way. This is the other girl.
Now, I heard that there was a group of people who actually talked who had issue with you.
So the group's name is Sig Elite. And the creation of that group already, it was completely out of spite and hatred. And to make you understand that a little bit more, my friends and I have had a group chat full of friends and just other people that we want to open up to have better opportunity to talk to other creators in. We've had a group called Signature Red that has existed for about over a year now. And that is like my group's group. And we made that, you know, we make memes and stuff when there's like any arguments in the community. Like, just, you know, memes have been made about our group or other things like that. But yeah, so this Sig Elite group was directly made by the people who are against not only myself, but my friends as well. So they made it Signature Elite because the short form for what we always call our group is Sig Red. So they called theirs Sig Elite to kind of, I mean, I'm guessing that instantly right off the bat, like making themselves be elite, they're trying to push something there. But yeah, that is the group that almost all of the people in the situation, a lot of the people who don't like me are because of that group or because of them being involved with the group directly.
Don't worry, everyone. For anybody who cares, I'm going to put his alt in the description so anybody can follow him if they want. And I will also put your YouTube because your YouTube's pretty good. I'm really sorry that all this stuff has happened with you, and I hope that the next time that you and I get to work together, it's not because of drama that's being placed upon us. It's because we're working on like an actual interesting video.
And I would definitely be up for that. So
Okay.
Thank you so much for even providing me a way of being able to talk about this situation, because this is the most in-depth that publicly, at least in a video form, that I've ever been about this entire situation. Like, there's never been anything that's been more detailed of everything going on than me talking right now. So thank you for allowing me to even be able to do this.
Thank you, everyone, for listening, because I'm probably just going to have pictures and like proof and stuff as the video footage. I appreciate all of you, and thank you for watching, and I hope you guys come back for my next actual video, which probably should be up next week.